Campbelltown, beautiful Saturday afternoon as the Manly team, the away side, are first out. We mentioned traditional rivals for a long time, those brutal battles of the late 70s and the early 80s. Must see it was. Craig Hancock, the fullback for Manly. Al Duncan comes onto the wing. John Hapawati and Terry Hill, the centres. Albert Torrens is there. Luke Phillips playing in the 5'8" position. Jeff Tuvey, the skipper. Neil Tierney, Jim Sedaris, Anthony Coella, Steve Menzies, Daniel Gartner, Nick Kosef. Still a very good lineup, isn't it, Brian?
There are a lot of talented players still in that team. If they can control the football today, I'm sure they're going to trouble that West defence.
A former Magpie himself there, and Jimmy Sedaris. 3 matches for New South Wales, 1 test match and a 94 Kangaroo tour. His previous clubs, South, West, and also Canterbury snuck in there for a season for Jimmy Sedaris now with Manly, and he's been one of their most consistent forwards. Now the Magpies. Quite a good crowd on hand here at Campbelltown Sports Ground for this contest. Their skipper today will be Steve Georgalis with Andrew Leeds. Out of the side with further injury, Ken McGuinness goes to fullback in replace of Leeds. Daryl Fisher and Jared Mills on the wings. Kevin McGuinness and Asiri Lang the centres. Damien Kennedy, Brett Hodgson, Harvey Howard, Mesha, Fritz, Rodonicus, Coxon and Georgalis. I mentioned the skipper. A big test for the Magpies today, Brian.
Well, Terry, they're going to have to be at their best, I think, today. They're missing some very experienced players in Langmack, who's not played very much football this year, but he's the danger man, McGuinness. 5
Origin matches, 35 tries in 87 premiership games. His first grade debut back in 94, and of course he scored that try in the 3rd Origin at the Sydney Football Stadium. Queensland going on to win that series. Your referee, Mr. Tim Mander, 81 games under his belt. The video referee today, John Yard. We are underway at Campbelltown. Will there be fireworks? We're about to find out. Coella, the first man to take it forward there for Manly. Tuvey, who missed the Origin number 3, back for Manly last Sunday, and now out there again. He'll play in the dummy half role. Teeny the decoy. Sedaris. This man is Daniel Gartner, who copped a very heavy knock last week. He's back again this week. To the short side, Neil Tierney. Pulled down just short of the halfway line. Ball control has been a problem for Manly. So far, so good. Kosef. The kick by Phillips, playing in the headgear. And it's a good kick as well, forcing McGuinness. Ken McGuinness to go back into the in-goal. Away he comes. The chase was good, Brian.
Kenny McGuinness has got a new challenge on his hands today, and at fullback. It's not a role that he's unaccustomed to, but nevertheless, a bit of an adjustment in his own style. And Manly getting off to a great start there with a very solid set of 6, and a great kick courtesy of Luke Phillips in that 5'8" role, an unaccustomed position for him as well.
And Brian, I think he'll get a lot of work back there at fullback today. Ken McGuinness in the first half, particularly because there's a very strong northerly breeze blowing, or fairly strong. Luke Phillips used it to advantage, and I think Manly will have to use it a lot in this half.
Mesha goes back for Kennedy, drops it onto the right boot. Menzies did a good job at putting some pressure on the kicker. It falls on the far side, and they were offside. Torrens brought it forward. Manly, this will put them into a very good attacking position.
Well, this is the perfect start for Manly. The Wests have gone back to way back there. Menzies put a lot of pressure out the back door there, the kicker, and you can see how far offside their players were. They were smart enough to back off a little, but not far enough.
Weller again takes it forward. Harvey Howard makes the tackle. Sedaris, Tuvey, Tierney must lead the go forward for Manly today. They go through the hands of Tuvey again. Back for Kosef, well wrapped up in that tackle. Great defence by the Magpies.
That was a great read.
Phillips finding his feet in the 5'8" arena. Back for Hancock, the fullback. They go to the short side. Sedaris, flick past Coella, who's so strong. Final tackle now. Back it goes for Kosef. Long ball for Tuvey. 3-on-2. The kick goes in. McGuinness doesn't have to play at it. They survived. Good test for the Magpies.
Well, we saw Brisbane last night doing the same thing there as Jeff Tuvey, unable to control the ball short of the dead ball line. That kick is way too big. A good set, but a poor finish.
Harvey Howard lays it back. George Jarvis, the season so far. 4 wins for the Magpies. No draws, 11 losses though, and just the 5 victories. Who would have thought for Manly, who played in 3 consecutive grand finals. Off he goes, Cheriako Mesha. Very good dart, and a better offload. The Magpies, first time with the ball. Rodonicus, that's Lincoln Rodonicus, son of Coach Tommy. Harvey Howard again, 1 out, flicks it back. Hodgson, play on is the call from Manda. Passes it back, knocked back, dropped again, and they'll get a drop out, the Magpies. Well, a comedy of errors.
It was indeed, Terry. Some very poor football initially by Harvey Howard, who's very sloppy with his offload, but Hodgson scooped it up brilliantly, makes the break, but then inexcusably passes to a Manly player who inexcusably doesn't collect the ball, and Alf Duncan then doesn't clean it up, and the Maggies are back on attack here.
Are they what? Second set of 6 here, and Fritz lines up from a long way out. So we'd like to see some Fritz, Gary Belcher.
Well, I'd like to see him fire up. Apparently in his first game back, or a second game back, with the club this year, he went very well. Harvey Howard now, they're the 2 players that can really get them going forward and lay the foundations.
Mesha wheels them to the right. Hodgson, Kennedy has runners. And Kennedy is quicker and stronger than he looks. Back it comes for Hodgson. Very speedy. On the toe for himself, and it didn't pay off. Manly come away.
Well, he had a dip at something different there, I suppose, Hodgson, but the skill wasn't up to the mark.
Hodgson, who's a winger and a fullback by trade, played a little bit of halfback at schoolboy level for New South Wales. Tuvey, customary dart from dummy half. Teeny, this man is Gartner. Gartner splits them wide open. Sloppy defence by the Magpies. Danger signs. Kosef is there. He's been heavily involved, coming back from a 2-match suspension. Nice ball. This is Duncan. Duncan still going around 2. Eventually Damien Kennedy, who does a mountain of defensive work, makes the tackle. Wide it goes for Phillips, playing in the headgear. Big kick, towering kick. Goes back. Fisher can't get there. Neither can McGuinness. Sidaris. I think Sidaris has missed the ball. We'll go to the video referee.
I think penalty try the first time I saw it.
Oh, I haven't seen one of them for a long, long time, Gary.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at the video there, fellas. No, we're going to have a look at this. Yeah, mate, just have a look there. I'm right behind the gold pads.
He's kept it on the toe here, and it's been grounded. Now, well,
just make sure
Fisher was playing at the ball, Brian Smith.
Well, there's a lot of things on that no try board over there with the light and the green light, but one of the things that's not there is a penalty try, and that is a penalty try. In my opinion, that is a penalty try.
Well, he's jumped on Sidaris' back when Sidaris didn't have the ball, so I agree with you totally.
I suppose
He was ready to pounce on it there, and he got taken down.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, Gary, you might say that the player's entitled to go for the ball, but he's not entitled to crawl up his back like that, is he?
No.
Oh, so close. No try. No try. No penalty try. So maybe Manly will feel cheated here. But I think Daryl Fisher could make a pretty good case for playing at the ball. He covered his movements pretty well.
But he did take a player out in doing that. It was wickedly poor, that. Not catching the ball on the full in the first place. And poor Jimmy Sidaris had the goalpost pad in his way there, and it just put him off a little from diving on the ball. He's also been injured, Jim Sidaris, and taken from the field.
Be back shortly, I think. Now, Tierney. So we're going to see the fullback in McGuinness placed under a lot of pressure here today. Craig Field is on. Terry Hill. McGuinness can't get away from McGuinness. That's Kevin McGuinness. Oh, knock on? No. Well kept alive by Kosef. Good hands. Phillips has runners. Goes himself, well tackled on the far side. Quick play the ball. They'll come back to the right. Field, Coella. Now he's inside, 8 minutes from the line. Final tackle. What are the options? Back they go. Sloppy pass. Field has it. Menzies on the toe. Back goes McGuinness, and McGuinness saves the day. Well, he's earning his money in the fullback position.
Manly just don't look as potent as they've been in this area. There was a lot of room to move out there. They opted for the kick, and in the end, it's a well-placed, nicely weighted kick by Steve Menzies. But there are times there in the past that those situations, they would have run the ball. Players would have attacked with the ball in their hands and found a pass or stepped past a defender. They just don't look as confident in that area as they have been.
Lethal attacking weapons, aren't they there, Gary Belcher? You saw the likes of Menzies, and he had Terry Hill on his outside.
Yeah, look, I agree with what Brian said. It did look like West were really stretched, but maybe they're playing to the coach's instruction, and what they are doing is controlling the football better than I saw them last week against Penrith early in the game. Maybe they're just playing their way, trying to play their way back into some form.
Terry Hill, which is over the top of Scott Coxon.
Which is a great plan. If they've had these problems all year, and they really are turning the heat up just by weight of possession. It's certainly at the right end of the ground.
Field, numbers on his left and players in motion. Hopewade, dangerously close to that try line. Very close to it. Harvey Howard comes in to help out. Rodonicus out and Mesha. Back it goes. Again the ball goes loose. Field, that spins, twist, over he goes. Craig Field scores the opening try for Manly. They lead by 4 points to 0.
And that weight of possession finally told, but with a degree of confidence shown by Field. A terrible pass again out of dummy half. Not the first one we've seen today. Field just too smart, too slippery for Damien Kennedy, who had no support on his inside shoulder there. One-on-one with Craig Field. You need to be better than that, and you need to be damn good. That's a terrific pirouette, lovely balance. He knew where the line was, and that was the reward for some consistency of possession. Patience.
It's been an unhappy season for this man so far this year, and Craig Field has been in and out of the starting 13.
It's a disappointment for footy because he's such a great player.
Luke Phillips. Can he make it 6-0? He does. The flags go up, and now the scoreline at Campbelltown. It's Manly 6, the Magpies off to a bad start, 0.
Yeah, the ball went to ground out here and Field picks it up. You look at the inside defence though from Rodonicus. Lincoln Rodonicus just not anticipating that the ball might come back inside. A couple of metres too late he was, and a player as slippery as Field will always make you pay.
Well, and I imagine that's about the scoreline after 10 minutes with the weight of possession Manly have had. They probably would expect.
And a confidence booster for them. Sounds strange to be talking about Manly suffering from a lack of confidence.
Successive grand final appearances. Tuvey. There's the short side. Hold on to the ball. Here goes Coella again, but Kosef will take on the line. There's its second receiver a lot for Manly. Again, they go up the short side. Teeny, the offload. Coella picks it up. Better ball at the back for Tuvey. Tuvey eventually swamped on the far side there by Daryl Fisher, who saved that controversial effort on Jim Sedaris earlier. Another loose ball. We have seen so many so far today. Menzies tackled just short of the halfway line. Magpies have done a pretty good job in this set of 6 so far. Back it goes for Phillips. High ball. And Fisher takes it well. He had a juggle, but he held on to it and brings it back 15 out from his own line. McGuinness picks up Fisher. In fact, Jared Mills driven back in that tackle. Terry Hill involved. And eventually the crowd here at Campbelltown, Gary. They do the home side justice on occasions, don't they?
Well, as you'd expect, they're always very vocal down here in support of their own team, and they just let the referee know. I'm not sure that made the decision, maybe helped sway him. Certainly a little bit too much. Terry Hill was entitled to let that West player go.
You can't have it both ways, can you? You can't slow the ball down and then have your line take off early before the ball's played.
Big hit up, Brandon Pomeroy. Haven't seen too much of him so far. Just 2 games for the year, the big buy they made during the off-season. Now Harvey Howard, of course, Pomeroy with injury and suspension, missing 13 games. This is Chris Yates, out the back for Mesha. Knocked back, says referee Manda. Quick play, the ball needed. Georgianis fires one to Kennedy. He's one out though, is Damien Kennedy. Mesha comes across. Harvey Howard again. Spins, no offload. They're in an attacking position here. Final tackle. Kennedy. Got some good cover. High ball, not as deep as they would like. Batted back now. Quick hands for Hodgson. Drops it on. He took that in the field of play, Hancock, and then he comes out.
Some nice play on the last play by West. Bit of enterprise shown at the back end of a bomb, but not enough really to test Manly's defence. They'll be growing in confidence, Manly.
Albert Torrens, he scored 4 tries for the Magpies, and they'll get the piggyback here.
The referee's penalising a West player who was off the ball there. He let the play run. Oh, gee whiz. I can see that he's saying there was no advantage, but the player was offside and retreated immediately that he noticed that he was offside. It's a hard marker, Mr. Manda.
Tierney, tackled right on the halfway line. Tuvey, Kosef again. This man is Daniel Gardner. Now they're in Magpies territory, appealing for holding down in the tackle is Craig Field. Comes Luke Phillips. He's a little bit shorter than Steve Menzies, but looks a touch like him in the head kicking. Kosef, Field. Will he take the line on? Coella into a gap, using his speed. Look at him go, and backed up by Hopewati. And all of a sudden, it is Manly 10, the Magpies 0, after some 16 minutes of play.
Well, this try is straight out of the training book. Straight out of 1,000 times done at Brookvale Oval in practice. Work the ball to the far side of the field through your forwards. Spread it back. Try to catch them out for numbers. Introduce someone from the back. Good support everywhere. Gee, I don't know what Kenny McGuinness thought he was supposed to do there at fullback. He didn't seem to understand what his job was. It wasn't all that complex. What he had to do was tackle the bloke who had the footy. But that's a lovely timed pass. Nice support too by Kallela. Timed his run wonderfully. Oh my God, he just went through an open door. Good support by Hopewade.
Showed good speed, did Coella.
Just a regulation try though, Terry, that.
Phillips, and all of a sudden the Magpies, they trail by 12 points to 0.
I wonder what Gary Belcher would have done at fullback there.
I would have called touched. Did he get a hand to him?
I don't think he did, Gary.
So it all started when the ball came out wide. Siri Lang overread the play. I know they had numbers here, Manly, but he chased out too wide and just left a yawning hole there for Coella. Couldn't believe his luck, and of course Hopewade on the inside. Ken McGuinness, that was an embarrassing attempt. Hopewade did it really easy to get under the post.
Well, Gary, the Magpies have so many players playing out of position, really, don't they? They lost Andrew Leeds, so that means McGuinness, a centre, goes back to fullback. You've got a Siri Lang, who's a winger turned back rower, now playing in the centre, so it causes problems in the defensive line.
Well, it sure did then too, didn't it? I mean, he just really looked out of place. He was chasing out wide when he should know, or I guess you'd expect him to know that you tackle the guy with the ball or the inside players before you slide out.
Terry Hill tries to go straight over the top of McGuinness. That's Kevin McGuinness, who played in all 15 games. Back it goes for Tierney. Bumps off that tackle. Pomeroy raced out of the line, and another penalty, and Pomeroy, who's already had his suspension troubles this year, gets up. We'll have a listen to the referee here.
Neil, just come here for a tick, mate. Let's talk now. Quiet now. Listen, that's it, settle down. Let me look after it. I've got that there, not for the tackle, but for the 10 metres, okay? Directly in front of me. Nothing there. Don't overreact, Neil. Okay, mate?
Well, the penalty was for the 10 metres. Pomeroy, he's giving him a bit of a whack round the chops there.
He's a fiery customer, Gary, isn't he? Brendan Pomeroy, a very talented player, but has to try and control that aggression somehow.
Well, maybe he feels that his side needs to get a little bit of aggression into their
well,
game.
They do. Yeah.
That's not the sort they want, of course, but gee, if they don't get into this game or don't fire up a bit, they're not going to even be in this game in the second half.
He's been taken straight off, Pomeroy too, and he's fired up on the bench.
Little knock on the crowd thought. Through it goes Menzies now. It's been good controlled play by Manly so far in the opening 17 minutes. Field. Phillips. Coella again, who's been heavily involved. Sidaris remains on the bench. Field playing a dummy half. Kosef. 15 out, taken by Fritz in that tackle. Backslam by Fritz. 2. Field. Long ball now. This is Phillips, plenty of speed. Luke Phillips slices them open and goes over for try number 3. It's embarrassing at the moment for the Magpies.
Well, it may be too late already, but Coach Radonikis needs to do something very fast about the right side defence of West. This is the second time they've been opened up like a can of sardines in most simple fashion. They didn't even need a pass on this occasion, just the threat of a pass, shaped a pass. Nice skills by Field, comes at the line, squares them up a little. They go into slide mode, but as Gary Belcher just pointed out a few minutes ago, you need to work as a coordinated unit there, recognising that you need to take the ball first before you slide off. That's just very ordinary.
It is ordinary, isn't it? And they are shell-shocked. They might be shell-shocked, but if they don't smarten up, they're on the end of another shellacking. Luke Phillips. Career try number 12. Came from the North Queensland Cowboys, joining Manly. A fullback, winger. Now playing in the 5'8" position. Strikes this one well. The flags go up. And now that scoreline, Gary, gets worse.
Yeah, it's looking tough for West, isn't it? Admittedly, Manly have the breeze behind them, but Luke Phillips did a lot of good work there. He went across and showed the ball after Field, threw that long ball. It just put them in a little bit of doubt on the inside. Terry Mesher stayed with him all the way, but a pretty poor attempt in the end to try to get hold of him. Phillips has racked up plenty of points already this afternoon.
And the kick was a beauty. Blue skies in the background, but very dark clouds over the head of the Magpies. And I'm not too sure how strong that breeze is, but that's a very short kickoff, Gary.
It is, I tell you, it's getting stronger, I believe, too. With those kickoffs, they're kicking it high. I mean, you've got to kick it low and hard if you want to get any distance in this breeze.
Tuvey. This is Kosef. Relishing being back on the park. Hancock steps around one tackle. Scotty Coxon came back at him. Try scored for the Magpies. 45. They had scored one more try than Manly coming into this game. And they've conceded 77. A massive 77, the worst in the league. Back it goes. Final tackle. Will they run the ball? Yes, they will. Phillips wraps around into space again. Kicks for Hopawate, comes across, but the cover comes. Jared Mills mops up.
Well, that's what you were talking about earlier, Brian Smith, the Manly of old, running it on the last tackle and taking the chances.
Move it across. And Phillips is enjoying this 5/8 roll. Showing great skills to keep it on the toe. Jared Mills got there first, but only just. Now goes Scotty Coxon. 35 out from the line. Back it goes. Kennedy makes some 5 meters before he puts the kick in. Bounces away from Alf Duncan. Duncan Can't get around the first chaser. That's Lincoln Rodonicus. Hancock now, out of dummy half. 12 metres short of the halfway line. 18-0, Manly lead. It's been an immaculate start. Hill for Gartner.
Tell you what's amazing from here too, when your side gets to such a good lead, the boys are lining up at Manly to get involved in the action here. They can sense that West are there to be put away very early in this match.
Menzies standing and offloading. Tierney, a former Magpie himself, goes forward. There's still 3 ex-West players in this Manly lineup. Kosef back inside for Gartner. Our final tackle. The options. Field. Long ball. They're confident. Phillips, high ball. This one, plenty of pressure for Mills. We'll come back to the 20.
Well, West have managed to hold out Manly on their last defensive effort, but they really give you no confidence about their ongoing ability to do that. Manly fell away last week after getting away to a good start against Penrith, and I'm sure today their goal will be to go right on with this job and not find themselves playing under pressure or being behind on the scoreboard as they have for almost every game this season. They'll enjoy this if they can go on with it.
Rodonicus back for Mesha. Good run by Chiriaka Mesha. McGuinness to his older brother. Offloads. Georgialis forced to goes back. Hodgson. Kick goes in from Kennedy. Mistake. Did that ball go forward? Referee Manus said it went back. It's Kosef who earns a break. Sidaris is still there on the bench. Of that heavy knock early in this game. Phillips. Oella. Just a couple of metres. Tierney rampages his way over the halfway line. Tuvey takes off. Inside ball. Peters. And he may have been hurt in that tackle.
Oh, he might have copped one there.
See it in actuality.
Ball was turned back inside there by Tuvey from dummy half. Maybe Peters just found himself in an awkward spot. He didn't see what was coming. He may have copped knees in the back, or he's certainly in some pain.
It's Rodonicus comes over.
It's not the knee in the back that's causing him any concern at this stage. I'd suggest somewhere closer to his jaw.
Now Menzies finding plenty of room. Flicks it out the back. They look as though they're enjoying their football. Phillips, McGuinness takes it well. Comes away from his line. Works in Fisher. Darryl Fisher will play it back 15 out from his line. Now this is Ken McGuinness. In the fullback role, Andrew Leeds was named in that position, but pulled out. Rodonicus, who cops some heavy treatment and a little bit of a square up there from Peters.
Mr. Mander's being very tough on the 10-metre area today. He's just come back to first grade. Maybe that was what he got dropped for.
Mesha ducked under one and loses the ball. Craig Field now. Dancing short of the halfway.
Yeah, there's a time to pass and there's a time to hold on, and Mesha, well, the offload had just gone past a little bit too long and tried to squeeze it out. West didn't need that.
Terry Hill, a former Magpie himself in the years of 92 and 93. Kosef. Oh, loose ball. They have it. Jared Mills. Brendan Pomeroy back on the park. And the crowd, they picked up a penalty for being inside the 10. So that old fire we speak about the late 70s and early 80s, it still remains.
Well, Brenton Pomeroy lives on. It'll always be there. He's got a fire in his belly, that fella. Carrying the ball, big left arm. Tierney not quick enough after that break by, or half break by West to get back to 10. He wants to go on with it. Pomeroy.
Here comes Fritz. Oh, so close to losing that ball. Did a good job in the end to hang on. Now Mesha. Rodonicus, decoy. Picks up Pomeroy again. Fresh legs for Pomeroy. Hodgson. Now they have players in motion, the Magpies. Coxon got it. It was meant for McGuinness. They'll go back to the left. Georgialis. McGuinness. Hodgson. Bumps off one of his own players. Back now for Coxon. The former Novocastrian taken to ground. 10 out. Georgialis. A long ball needed. Kennedy will use his strength here. Got around that first tackle of field. Georgialis kicks for himself, kicks again, and Hancock has it. Oh, they desperately needed a second set of 6 there.
Yeah, but their attack there had about as much flow in it as their defence has had in terms of the strength in their defence. It just doesn't seem to be gelling for West today. They got guys in the middle there like Fritz and Pomeroy and also Harvey Howard who've not played a lot of footy, and maybe they just need these games under their belt. But you know, they got Damien Kennedy, a back row, playing 5'8", McGuinness playing fullback as usually a centre, and Hodgson, who's a fullback or winger, playing halfback. And it's a lot to ask guys just to fit together as a first-grade footy team.
Final tackle. Phillips. Big kick. Turning around Ken McGuinness. McGuinness goes back. Good chase by Hopawate. Hopawate is there. Loose ball. What has he done, McGuinness? He has thrown it to nobody. In fact, he's thrown it straight to Luke Phillips. Phillips has dived on it, and you don't see that very often. And Coach Tom Rodonicus is wishing he hadn't seen it today. 22-0, and this is simply unbelievable and close to being unforgivable.
We'll get to the tragic error in a minute, but Manly have done this consistently well today, and it's been a winner playing Phillips at 5'8". His kicks have been good, the chase has been good, the communication has been good. That's just a terrible decision by Kenny McGuinness. You know, I guess you can feel sorry for him and say he's unaccustomed to the fullback position, but really, you know, a guy of his ability, played State of Origin footy and been an outstanding first-grade footballer, should know better than that. That's just too easy.
Well, he stands there behind the in goal and just wishes he could have that last 90 seconds back. But unfortunately, it won't come back. And I don't think the Magpies will either.
I think we can safely say Manly are going to win this game today, Terry, although we've seen other comebacks at various stages. It'll be their first away victory for the year.
They've had 7 matches on the road so far this year. For 7 losses. Luke Phillips. He's enjoying this 5'8" position. And he enjoys the kicking roll. The flags go up. The scoreline goes from bad to worse for the Magpies. 24-0.
Gee, I'll tell you what, this takes you back to State of Origin in the early 80s. Phil Duke, Phil Sigsworth, they pop the ball back, and the bloke playing 5'8" for the Maroons team, he scores. Luke Phillips it is in this case for Manly.
You ever do that yourself, Badge?
What, score from there or? Yeah, I certainly did, I can tell you. I did it once playing against West.
The guy who scored on that occasion was Wally Lewis. And
it's the worst thing about making a bad mistake at fullback. It almost always means 4 points.
Oh, it stands out, doesn't it?
only old position, isn't it, Gary?
Well, you live and you learn, and Ken McGuinness, I don't think he's going to do that again for a while, but he'll get better from his experiences, we hope.
Joseph out the back for Hopawade, who put that great chase on, which caused the error from McGuinness. So the hard work was done by Manly to force the error. Probably an error that shouldn't have happened, though.
We might see Ken McGuinness in the room at half-time giving Andrew Leeds a rub-down, trying to get him on the park.
Well, West, there
Give
you
him
go.
his job back.
Yeah, there's no need to be sarcastic, Gary.
They've conceded 5.1 tries per match, their worst defensive record in the league. Now, Menzies taking a touch high there by Fritz. In fact, it was Phillips. Field He's added that spark, hasn't he? Craig Field. The offload was a beauty from Coella. Craig Field again. Back on the inside. Torrance. Taking the ground. 17 out. Through the hands. Hancock. Final tackle. Kosef. Phillips. The little kick. Duncan comes through. Takes it well. And gets it down, does he? We might be going to the video, but I think Duncan has scored. He just out-enthused the jumpers for the Magpies.
Well, there is another kick result, and the kick generally means that you've got to the back end of your set, and that's what Manly have done. This is another last tackle play. There's referee Mander with his arm in the air. Beautifully weighted kick by Luke Phillips again. A big step by Bob Fulton to put him into that position today. He obviously done his homework on it. Phillips has controlled the kick nicely, and it was attacked terrifically by Duncan in the air. He just wanted it more and executed the play well.
Duncan got up high. Hodgson has been moved back into the fullback position for the Magpies. Couldn't get close enough to attack the ball. Alf Duncan could. So Phillips. Certainly been on target with the boot so far today. 4 from 4. This one very tough. And he strikes it nicely. Just waved away. Shaves the post. And the scoreline remains 28 points to 0.
Well, it was a well-placed kick out there from Phillips, but Hodgson and Jared Mills seemed to have that one covered. Maybe a lack of communication. They're both watching each other there. Of course, Alf Duncan just swoops on the ball and does very well to get himself over the line and plant it.
Gary, I just saw Ken McGuinness come from the field and go straight to the dressing rooms. Perhaps he might be carrying an injury.
We'll try to investigate that and see, or perhaps he's just not very happy with what's happened on the day.
He might not be the only one who's not quite happy at the moment.
No, it's been a tough few.
Tommy's pulled out the butcher's knife. 28 to 0. 7 minutes to go in the opening half. The Magpies looking forward to the break. Manly not so. Terry Hill. Hancock. Field. Phillips. Menzies. Kapawate. Now they're 28 metres out. Coella. The offload, the ball goes loose. Kosef, good hands. Craig Field back on the inside for Luke Phillips. Has runners and has plenty of time. Eventually taken. Now the final tackle. Go to the left-hand side. Back to the middle. Now the right. Kosef. Hancock. Hancock kicks again for Terry Hill. This time the bounce goes the way of the Magpies. And Jared Mills has it safely in his keeping.
There's a better effort there to take the ball over the sideline. Terry Hill coming through. You see Mills just takes the football. It bounces straight back to him. In fact, Terry Hill has just hobbled off the field. He's got a problem with his right knee, and he came to the sideline moments ago to see if he could get replaced. So I suspect that he's gone into the match with the drama, and he may not come back on.
Really heavily. Right. Well after the play.
Okay, so nothing more than a penalty, but he's hitting late, unnecessary. Okay, you go for the spot, thanks. Brenton, don't walk away, mate. Listen, if I'm not going to pick it up, those blokes are, okay? Once the ball's gone, just stay well out of it. Okay? Fair enough? Okay.
Oh, Brenton Pomeroy, he's having major problems trying to control that aggression. The same problem with the North Sydney Bears. And as I mentioned, has played just 2 games this year. And it allows Manly to continue their attack. Joe Taylor. Now Kosef. Sidaris back on the park. Kosef again. Hard to stop that close to the line. They pull him up just a metre short. Tuvey. So play the ball. Tuvey. They come out of the line quickly. Field is so quick. Coella. Goes so close. Quick play the ball. Tuvey now. Field. This man is Phillips. He was halfway through that gap. Luke Phillips. Kawati. Tuvey. Field again. Will he take on the line? The inside ball goes astray. Kosef goes back. Now, Phillips again. From a standing start. Ducks under one.
Referee didn't call 6 again there.
Final tackle for Manly. Field. Sidaris. Has the runners. Gartner. Flicks it back for Tuvey. This is the Manly of old. Flinging the ball around. Field. Good kick. Can they get out of their own danger area? And Travis Baker is trapped with it. And Manly will continue the blitzkrieg.
It was terrific defence from West there. They got off their line with some real aggression and kept Manly at bay. And Manly shot some good plays at them there. As you called it, Terry, the Manly of old, the free-flowing, offloading sort of stuff. That unfortunately for West, they got to do it again. Because here they are, pegged in their own in goal. I reckon they'll have to start charging Manly rent up this end of the field shortly. Well, we turn around at half-time, so the groundsmen will be happy. They're going to wear the grass out at this end.
Exactly right. 28-0. Manly playing as well as we know they can. Coella. Struck a very good 36 minutes and 48 seconds together. Sidaris for Hopawati. Torrens. 8 metres away from that try line. Back it comes. Tuvey. Field. They're lining up. Phillips. Set play for Manly. Hancock just overran that ball by about 1 metre.
Good defence by West.
On him quickly. They go to the left. Back for Hopawati. Spins out of one. Field is slammed from behind by Rodonicus. And that ball went forward.
That's very, very good defence from West. Down this score, 28-0, back-to-back sets. They showed some pride there, and that was good defence by Lincoln Rodonicus. He came back from behind. He'd already completed one tackle. Oh, he's jumped out from behind a curtain and upended Craig Field, forced the error, and the Maggies get a chance to finish with the ball at the other end of the field for a change. That's if they can control it here.
Well, it's good to see them getting forward and off their line. Like you said, Brian, you can wait. You can stand back and wait for a side that's running hot to ball play in front of your face, or you can get up and try to put some pressure on. The Maggies are finally doing it.
Jared Mills. McGuinness. This is Kevin. Kevin McGuinness. Nobody doubts his attacking ability. Like to see him more involved here at Campbelltown.
See that Ken McGuinness is back on the bench, so perhaps he's overcome any worries he had or injuries he had.
This is Fritz during the Maggies from North Sydney this year. Kennedy takes on the line himself. Final tackle. Hodgson puts in the kick straight down the throat of Hancock. And away he comes from his own line. 2 minutes to go. Joe Taylor.
Oh, it's good carry.
23 years of age.
He's a big kid, isn't he?
Back at Manly before he went to Paris. Sounds flash, but it wasn't apparently. 28-0 inside the final minute of the opening half. Kosef. Menzies.
Touch.
Oh, Fritz just put out the right hand. But he kept going, Menzies. Go to the open side, Field. Loose ball. Can the Maggies turn this into something? No. The chase was good. Rodonicus not quite quick enough.
He didn't give 6 again for that either.
The kick by Gartner. They chase through. This is Jared Mills. Mills can't get away from his man. Fisher. Swings around from one.
Ken McGuinness is back on for the injured Brett Hodgson.
Flicked out the back. Fisher has it again. And the siren sounds to end the pain for the Magpies. the opening half. That scoreline is a nasty one for the Magpies. Manly, they rejoice. They have scored 28 points to 0. 5 tries to 0. The crowd not too happy here at Campbelltown. But the scoreline really, Manly, finding some of their best form so far this year. Putting on 5 tries, scoring 28 points to 0. We'll take a break from Campbelltown. Welcome back to Campbelltown. The scoreline 28 points to 0. The Magpies, they take the field. Their second 40 minutes surely must be better than their first. Totally outplayed by Manly, a Manly side who have been out of form so far this year, but have certainly struck some so far today. Round 16 of the competition. They can still make that top 10, and if they make it, they'll give plenty of teams a bit of hurry up, Brian Smith.
Well, this is the sort of thing that can regenerate a team. If they go on with this job this afternoon, it could be a springboard for them to really regain that confidence that has got to be at a very low ebb in their place after all the trials and tribulations of a disappointing start.
Phillips in the headgear, the number 2 jumper. About to restart. There's Kosef. Back after a couple of games off through suspension. Time back on. It goes down to McGuinness. Harvey Howard. Offload. Mesha. Tries to get around that tackle of Tierney. Did a good job for Manly in the opening 40 minutes. Big Fritz. Manly, I imagine Gary Belcher, Bob Fulton would have been pretty happy at half-time, but expecting more of the same in the second half.
Well, I've got Marty Gurr with me from Manly, and I guess Bob Fulton would be happy. The ball control was a lot better than I saw last week.
Well, that's exactly right, Badge. I mean, the thing that we've been having trouble with is our ball control, and, you know, they completed all bar one of their 22 sets that half, and you can see the results.
And I guess the Luke Phillips experiment at 5'8" seems to be going pretty well, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's going very well. He's really putting the defensive line in two minds, which is a very good 5'8" play.
Now, it's a pretty stiff breeze. The guys used it very well, the Manly players, in the first half. What are the tactics running into that in the second half?
Well, obviously, you know, you're going to have to run the ball a lot further into the wind. Obviously, not getting the same distance on the kick. So, you know, we're looking for, you know, good quick play of the balls. Maybe some opportunities for some of our faster guys, particularly Jeff Tuvey out of dummy half. And as I say, try and get the ball downfield as far as we can by running it and then putting in a kick late in the tackle camp.
All right, thanks, Marty.
Thanks, Badge.
Here comes Fritz, next to Marty Gurr from Manly. Go on with the job. Now the Magpies, they need to score first. McGuinness accelerates.
Oh, great tackle.
So close to being through. The tackle was made by Luke Phillips, hanging on just that moment too long. So the Magpies are the team applying the early pressure. In the second half, using the referees as shepherd, Mesha, Terry Mesha has scored the opening try of the second half. We'll go to the video referee once again.
Lock on there, mate. You guys have the upper end.
Terry Hill remonstrates.
I've got no sound. You got sound? Can you hear me? Okay, tell him that we're looking for the line.
Is he there? Yes.
I'm not so sure there, Terry. I'm not so sure at all. Ooh. Gee, I tell you what, that's poor play. One from the referee, terrible positional play, and very poor by Manly as well. All of them, the referee and Luke Phillips and Terry Hill, have all been caught by surprise there by Cherry Mesker. He's a strong little fellow. He really burrows hard for that line. See, we just can't tell whether that ball's on or short of the line. You can't make a decision on that from here. Why don't the video referees sometimes say, refs call?
Well, they can.
I've never seen it. I've never seen that button come on.
I have actually seen it, not too often, Brian Smith, but I've seen it in one game. I think it's the one the referee doesn't want to see, though, isn't it?
Put your house on that. You tell me that you know that is either definitely a try or no try. The only way you can pick that is if there's a camera along the line, looking straight along the line.
Well, there you go.
Ref's call. He heard me.
He's given the try. You are a good judge. Brian Nostradamus Smith.
No, I'm not calling that it wasn't a try, Terry. All I'm saying is that you cannot tell off that replay unequivocally whether that's a try or not. And I'm happy with the referee to say it is, as long as he was in a position to see so.
Well, was he in a position to see so?
Yeah, I reckon he's better. I'd like to get him to give me some tips.
He must have seen the ball. He must have seen the ball on the line here, the referee, to have ruled it a try. If there is any doubt, he has to say it's no try. Now, at some stage there, it must be sitting on the line when he comes around. He just wanted to make sure it was grounded properly in the first place.
Yeah, perhaps you're right there.
Well, the word we have, as Hodgson lines his kick up from the video referee and John Yard, is that he gave the instructions to referee Tim Mander. It looks like a try to me, but it's your call. And the flags go up. The Magpies have started the second half in good fashion. 28-6, still a long way to go. An eternity.
Manly slipped away in other games, most notably last weekend, had a great start against Penrith. They need to buck up again right now and let West know that they're in for a tough game. Alternatively, West have got their tails up now. They can regain something here, maybe a bit of pride. Perhaps it's too much to ask for the game.
Exactly right. Mesha scored that try. It was quick thinking by Mesha. Kennedy, a back rower playing in the 5/8 position. Leo Denevor, for all those Magpies fans still running around in President's Cup. A player who helped Newcastle get to that grand final last year with the injuries to Andrew Johns. There's Mesha, who looks to have taken it upon himself to try and spark the Magpies up a touch. Final tackle, back it will go for Hodgson. Hodgson puts the kick in. Hopawate comes across, falls for Hancock.
Another good set by the Maggies and a great chase. Ken McGuinness is still at fullback, by the way.
Duncan tackle. Alf Duncan plays it back. Sedaris is caught. The Magpie fans, they have stuck by their team during the halftime break. Terry Hill busts them wide open down the right. Fends off two, and McGuinness makes the tackle.
Absolutely appalling defence from the left side of West defence there. They kept them in tow 5 metres from their own line for 3 plays and then let them off the hook.
Menzies.
And it's not finished yet.
Hancock. Big ball. Gartner stepping like a centre and running like one. Pulled down 10 metres short now. Final tackle for Manly. Field. Options, back on the inside for himself. Kosef, they won't stop Nick Kosef from there, surely. Across he goes. Try number 6 for Manly. And they bounce straight back. 32 points to 6. The reply that Coach Bob Fulton would have been hoping for.
And this is where it all started. Way back at this end. Look at, that's the 10-metre line. Their own 10. And that was play 4. Terry Hill just does fantastically. He went round the left edge. Kenny McInnes makes a good tackle at fullback on the rampaging Hill. And here's the ensuing play. Oh, there's some gaping holes in the Maggies' defence there. Lovely ball by Tuvey and great strength by Kosef to punish them, finish them right off. But the real damage was done at the far end of the field by the left side of West defence. Oh, he's a great player. Nick Kosef, he just looks awesome in that role, belting the fullback over the defender over the line.
Does a good job of it too, doesn't he, Nick Kosef? Luke Phillips strikes it nicely. The flags are up. 34 points to 6 at the scoreline now, Gary.
Yeah, it's a problem late in the tackle count when you've got too many players dropping back out of the line. See the halfback Brett Hodgson and Ken McGuinness are both back. I'm not sure who's playing fullback. I'm pretty sure it's McGuinness. They're both back near the try line, so of course there were holes in the defence. And Hodgson's just too small there. He's not going to be able to stop Kosef that close to the line.
34 to 6 the scoreline. High kick off. In goal. Tierney winds up, taken by Steve Georgialis.
Well, that's their highest score for the season in the 4 column. Manly. And there's a long way to go yet. 33 long minutes.
For the Magpies. Kosef. Relishing being back on the park is Nick Kosef. It's his second try for the season he's picked up.
6-all in the second half. And that'll be aim one, I guess, or goal one for the West, to try to win the second half.
Manly. Up over the halfway. Luke Phillips plays it back quickly for Menzies. Back for Hancock. The right boot. Kicking away from McGuinness. McGuinness covered some good ground to get there. Allows it to bounce. Looks up. The chase was good from Manly, Gary Belcher.
Yes, it was. Look, I've got Jack Smales, the West's assistant coach, with me now. Jack, I heard the fans booing the players off at half-time. I guess that'd be pretty embarrassing for them.
Well, it's very embarrassing for the club. Tommy really gave them plenty at half-time because they're not playing with purpose. They're training very well, actually, but, when they come out here, as Tommy said, they're forgetting everything and they're not moving up and letting Manly run. We know all the blokes are offload and they've been offloading all day.
So what does he ask them to do in the second half to try to correct that?
Is to show a bit more courage, run up harder and run into the tackles, particularly the forwards.
I expect Tommy would have mentioned the words pride as well in their performance.
He always mentions pride and guts, mate. You want a bit more guts from them, a bit more pride, because they're playing for a great club and they ought to know that and get out and do it.
Well, until a few minutes ago, they started right in the second half. Thanks for your time, Jack.
No problem. Thanks, mate.
Styles there, assistant coach for Magpies, the football manager with Gary Belcher. 34-6. Pride and Carriage. Long way to go in this game. Coella goes forward. 35 out from the try line. Sedaris with the arms in the air, wanting the quick play the ball. Tuvey. Now Phillips. Runners on the inside in Hancock. Hancock has another runner on the inside. Menzies. 5 metres out now. Final tackle. They'll spin it back to the left-hand side. Tuvey, the long ball. Teeny looking to get it back on the inside. I don't think it was meant to go like that. Hill back for Phillips. They get another kick in. Was that player offside? Yes, he was. Taken on the far side by Jared Mills. And he was offside. He was offside when the kick went up. He was going to be offside when Mills caught the ball.
They missed a good opportunity on the right there. Terry Hill was trying to switch the ball back over there, but Phillips wouldn't run and pass. Look how many players Manly had on that little short right side. I do feel a bit for Ken McGuinness. I don't know what you reckon there, Gary, but I mean, a bit of a rap for fullbacks at any time, because it's a tough position, but you need to have a special set of skills, I reckon, to be comfortable catching the kick ball and to bring it back at the defensive line.
Here goes Georgialis, pops it up as Siri Lane. Can he get the ball away? No.
Yeah, he's been thrown into the deep end, and he certainly showed the last time they kicked the ball to him that he was prepared to let it bounce twice without attacking it, so he's lost a lot of confidence since the game started.
McGuinness can't get the bounce. He dropped it forward onto his boot, kicked it, and needed a magic bounce back into the hands. 34-6, but more enterprising play by the Magpies.
That was a great break by Georgialis. Kevin McGuinness is prepared to back himself.
Oh, Hopawate, straight through. Through 3 now. Can he make it 4? No. Maybe. No, Yates got him eventually. What a barnstorming run that was. What are they doing? They're 15th on the ladder, Manly. It's hard to believe on today's performance. Big ball. This is Phillips. Has Hancock with him. Has Terry Hill. Hill taken on the inside. And inside the 10. We haven't seen this many offside penalties for a long time. Missed tackles are 18-2. Good tackle, that one on T. It came from Yates. Danger time again. Kosef reaches out, points the ball down, and gets try number 7 for Manly. Kosef, 3rd try for the season. 38-6. It is embarrassing.
You see the strength again. Again, the damage was done from inside their own half. Hopawate made a great break, and this is the follow-on. There's Kosef, again using that strength. His mismatch there with Mesha. He needed to get some help. Mesha needed help. Come and help me. He's begging for it. little fella like that. I mean, that's one of the beauties about our game, is that you get big guys on little guys, and smart attacking teams do that. But the defensive way to counter that is you get numbers there to help. And that's the challenge in footy, is to cover for the bloke who's a bit smaller, or the big bloke who's lacking a bit of agility. Maggie's just, Jack Stiles is talking there about guts and determination, and that's what it is that you've got to be determined to get there and help your mate.
66% for the season for Luke Phillips. That was the only number there for the Magpies was the number 9 in measure. Phillips is going to be waved away this one.
His foot's worn out.
8 points to 6. It's a new pair of right boots.
Gee, they're doing it easy, Manly, aren't they? It started off with a bit of brilliance, just some awesome power there from Hopewadi, stepping through a couple of tackles. A third one there, he made that look very easy, beating Daryl Fisher. He gets a tackle near the sideline here, a very slow play the ball, but Manly showed patience, and in the end it was very simple to try. Just a couple of passes, one-on-one. Should have been a couple more defenders there. Just drags Terry Mesher over the line, does Kosef.
I can tell you what, Brian, he's off contract at the end of this year. Is Nick Kosef.
He's not doing his price any damage today.
No, and it would be a hefty price anyway, as Neil Tierney makes another good burst. But another couple of tries from Kosef. His performance throughout the Origin series. Jimmy Sedaris there with 14 tackles, Gartner 13. Coella in 12 tackles and 8 hit-ups. He's not doing his contract negotiations any harm whatsoever. Might be doing some harm to the Manly budget though.
Oh, look
as
at this.
Sedaris.
He left 4 on the ground there.
Oh, Menzies went without it. You don't see it too often. Daryl Fisher came up with it, Asiri Lang. Haven't seen too much of him in attack today. In fact, we haven't seen a lot of the Magpies in attack. Georgianis needs a runner. McGuinness. Hodgson takes on the line himself. He's very quick off the mark. Mesher again. Lincoln Radonicus has made 20 tackles. Fritz 18 and Coxon 17 and 4 hit-ups. Loose ball for Fisher. Couple of tackles left for the Magpies. Back it goes. Hodgson. Georgianis with that skip. McGuinness, the little kick for his little brother, and the little brother says thank you, big brother, and over he goes. Far too little, too late, but more enterprising play by the Magpies. 38 points to 10.
This is where the use of Kevin McGuinness as a fullback has its place. He injects himself into the back line here, more or less as a centre, but as an extra player. And that's a wonderful piece of combination skills. Magic touch off the foot, anticipation by the outside player, who just happens to be his brother and knows his every move. But that's great skills. Isn't that a nice touch? Weighted perfectly. It's marvellous how players with speed and balance seem to always get the good bounces.
No one said the more he practiced, the better he got. 23 tries for his career, 7 tries for the season. Came from the Minto Cobras club. The McGuinness boys. He's a former Australian schoolboy. And plenty more first grade to come there for Kevin McGuinness. Brett Hodgson, 4 from 6 today. This is a tough one. The right boot strikes it well. And up they go, the Flags. Making this scoreline, Gary, a touch more respectable. 38 points to 12.
Well, they're never going to really get back into this match, but they're keeping the fans happy anyway. This kick was all the better because it was done from out wide. Had it been kicked from the 5'8" or the halfback, Alf Duncan was back in the pocket waiting for it. When it was passed out wide, the Manly winger had to come up and left some room for Kevin McGuinness to chase through and score.
Yeah, big 23 minutes left in this game, Brian. It's a big test for both clubs, really. I mean, the Magpies, they need something to take into training during the week and next week. And Manly, if they are to make the playoffs, they'd want to finish this off.
Yeah, well, Manly can only finish with a lot of disappointment here if they allow West to to score another try or two. They'll go away feeling, even though they've got a win up, they'll feel with a bit of dirty taste in their mouth, like they've missed an opportunity. They need to go right on with it.
And they might well do that yet.
It's not just about winning for Manly, is it? It's about now getting some great form on the board for the coming weeks.
They can still make the playoffs. They need 7 wins from their last 6 or 7 wins from their last 9 games.
But getting things in order, as Gary's saying it, is that the playoffs will come as the result of the wins, and the wins will come as the result of good form, and the good form comes as a result of confidence.
Here's Phillips. He's having a wow of a go.
They need the confidence builder of a big win here.
Lines are on. Corella. Field. Inside ball. Taken high in the tackle, a touch. Adam Peters. Plays it back quickly. Field. There's players in motion here. The kick on the far side. Well fielded by Jared Mills, who did a great job to get the ball and get out of his own end goal.
He did indeed.
Young McGuinness, the try scorer, coming away from the line. Little knock on there, and there was a hand in the ruck.
That is just an astonishing amount of penalties for being inside the 10 today. How does Bill Harrigan get teams to get back the 10 and not give penalties in the game? That must be at least 6, I reckon. That's a lot of penalties for the one offence, maybe even 7.
7 for the penalty count.
But of those 7, Terry, there's been a lot of them given for
inside the 10.
Inside the 10, yeah. Most prevalent penalty all day.
Mesha. Fritz lines up, running across field, makes him an easy pick off there for Coella. Georgialis has tried to spark the Maggies. McGuinness. Hodgson, he's quick, loses his footing. Tuvey. Final tackle. They've stacked the right-hand side. High ball, Georgialis. Down it comes. Fisher can't get rid of it. Yes, he does. They have scored another one. Over they go. Travis Baker. And it'll be a 6-pointer. He's going to give the try. No video referee. And the Maggies have come back in the second half with 3 tries. 38 points to 16.
Jeff Tuvey's wanting to have a word with the referee over this. Ball's put in the air. Manly appear to have as many players there as West's. There's the offload. It went backwards, Jeff.
Nothing wrong with that.
Manly clocked off. That's what happened. And West played on. Oh, a tricky little play by Travis Baker. There's the ball in the air again.
They were thinking he
Up
may
it
have been
goes.
held.
Opawade. No, that ball came free, Terry. That's a fair try, I
Sure,
reckon.
I've got no doubt about that.
Oh, look at that for a play.
And Travis Baker proves the position. Hodgson does the rest. And now that scoreline on 38 points to 18. The scoreboard just helping out there a touch at the ground, Gary, and said 38-20, but it is 38-18. Good try.
It was a fairly well-placed kick. Not a lot of jump there from the Manly players, and he certainly was still in motion when he managed to flick the ball out the back. Ball comes inside for Travis Baker, and it does the Dale Shearer, the dummy put down, gets it 10 metres closer to the goalpost.
We're going to see plenty more points scored in this game, there's no doubt about that. 20 minutes to go. It's been open from the very first minute. It's going to remain that way. Manly, who looked so awesome in that first 40, not looking quite the finals force in the next 20 minutes of this second half.
Well, like any side, West, when you control the football, you give yourself a chance to score, and they've finally done it. Although that time it didn't look so good, but McGuinness almost gets around Terry Hill.
It's a more enjoyable game when you got the ball, isn't it, Gary?
Oh, it's a lot more fun, particularly when you're not a great defender like me.
Hodgson offloaded that last one. Now they're inside Manly territory again. A good deep kick here. Good chase on it. McGuinness They run the ball, left to Rodonicus to kick. I don't know if that was in the game plan. It was a good kick in the end. What's the chase like? The chase was even better. McGuinness was up there, along with Daryl Fisher. They need to try and force an error here, the Magpies. Tuvey. Oh, huge gap there for Gartner. Shrugs away from one. Fritz came again. 7 tries to 3. Tuvey, we've seen it so often. He steps away from the sideline and takes the tackle there of Hodgson, the opposite number. And he laid on him a touch too much. So this will put Manly in a brilliant attacking position. The crowd not too happy with the performance of referee Tim Mander, but they should be more venting their anger.
He didn't have a choice there, Terry.
No, should be venting his anger, their anger more at the players.
Hodgson's he's overdone that in the extreme. He's turned him over, rolled him over, tipped him on his head and then pushed him back down.
Game, set and match, wasn't it? Colella storms his way upfield. Rodonicus made the tackle. Field, Tierney charges onto this one against his old club and looking to flick it out the back. Phillips cut out. This is Coella, taken by Rodonicus. Phillips will take them back to the right with Field. Decoy run. Menzies around one, still going towards that try line and eventually driven back. Standing very deep now, Manly. Tuvey, Field, they've raced up out of the line, the Magpies. The ball went forward, McGuinness has it. McGuinness, can he go all the way? Little McGuinness, there's 40 to go, 30 to go, 25 they get him. Well, they need a quick play the ball. Through it goes. Mills, they take on the line. Jared Mills, can they get their 4th try of this game now? Back it goes. They will get it. They get it, okay. Travis Baker, he's come off the bench and he's picked up 2 tries, and Manly's defence in the second half has been less than impressive. 42-22 though, the scoreline.
But it's the ball control of Manly, because Manly could have scored at this end. This pass from Craig Field that had gone to hand, it's gone behind the player Gartner. There goes the break. Oh, what a great fend. He changed the hand, ball in hand to one side to the other, keeps his cool, holds the ball, and here's the next play. This kid scored a lot of tries in Brisbane last year, I believe, Travis Baker, and he enjoyed that.
He knows how to celebrate, doesn't he?
2 in just a few minutes.
Tongue like that, I reckon he can do a good haka.
Like a hit singer of a rock band. Scoreboard is an electrical
Oh, he's
fire.
pumped. Travis Baker.
Come
on, we can win this.
Well, maybe. It's 38-22 the scoreline. We're having awful trouble with the scoreboard here.
Well, we saw the biggest comeback in rugby league history just a few weeks ago. Penrith leading North Queensland.
And the flags go up again. The Magpies, Gary. They're on the way back.
Oh, it can't happen, can it? It's at 38 points to 24 now. And I'll tell you, Manly had the chance to put them away once again. It went from one end of the field to the other with that great McGuinness run. He picked up the loose ball, and Baker just keeps a cool head there. He had some players on the outside, but he saw the gap open up.
Let me just say that Travis Baker at no stage put that ball on the grass. And if the referee had called for a replay, he'd have been poking his tongue out at himself, Travis Baker.
Well, I can tell you, he's full of it at the moment because he has just leaped in front of McGuinness to take that ball from the kickoff, Baker, and looks up at the man who did the tackling in Hopawate. So he is fired up, and it can't be a bad thing. Here goes Fritz, and all of a sudden the Magpies are playing as if it's the start of the game.
Well, they don't need to panic. They just need to get themselves going forward. No need to push passes just yet. Try to get themselves up the other end of the field. Cliffy Lyons on now for Manly.
Well, the crowd appealing now for another penalty. The first time we've seen Cliff for the entire game. Georgianis, back it goes, final tackle, an important tackle this one. Across it goes, the chase, up on Alf Duncan, and now the Magpies put some steel into that defence. Phillips comes, now Terry Hill. They must make the cover tackle. They do. Dangerously close to the sideline. Plenty of fight in the second half. Manly under pressure. Gartner takes on the defensive line himself. Frustrating times. Tuvey. Cliff Lyons was trailing up. What can Cliff do? Dishes it on this occasion to Kosef. Inside ball from Phillips for Hancock. Menzies. Phillips again. McGuinness. He goes to the left-hand side of the park. Now back to the middle. Got away from 2 tackles. Sidaris on the sideline, about to check back into this game.
Well, Neil Tierney was hurt in that attempt to tackle on McGuinness. He's got a problem with his right leg, just trying to get himself off the field.
Oh, Fritz, good charge. Having a look at the clock, the Magpies, as they storm back into this game. Georgianis. This is Kennedy. Kennedy takes the line on. Hasn't seen a lot of space or a lot of ball. Here goes McGuinness again. They're giving him some latitude. And Menzies comes up with it. Mills.
A really poor error there by West. Another penalty. A lot of penalties in a first grade game of football this afternoon. That one, maybe the referee again's got no option. A terrible handling error by West there. On the break, there's poor old Neil Tierney. Dr. Nathan Gibbs giving him the once over there. He's entitled to catch that football. And that might sound funny after being down 28-0 at half-time or whatever it was. And I think that was the end of their chance. 10, almost 11 minutes to go. Anything can happen.
It's a funny game. 38-24. 12 to go. Sidaris.
Not a real funny game if you're Tommy Radonicus. How would he be feeling riding the roller coaster?
I don't think Bob Fulton thinks it's all that funny at the moment either, Gary.
No.
Lyons. Oh, Phillips. Good hands from Hancock for Terry Hill. Lyons again. Back for Kosef, who's been a leading light for the Manly pack. Now the final tackle. They wheel to the open side. Phillips with the drop goal. So they were thinking, were they better wrap it up now. The drop goal is successful. So Phillips has done the job there. And that scoreline.
That's good tactics.
39-24.
And not only does it deflate the opposition a little, but it also chews the clock up and it gets you another set of possession, provided you're on your toes ready for the kickoff.
And it's a good deep kick. Looking to force the error again, the Magpies. Manly, who was so impressive in that opening half. Now they work away from their line. Georgianis makes yet another tackle. That's Sidaris.
From the coach's point of view, Brian, I guess it would have been Bob Fulton part of his job to convince the Manly players at half-time, 28-0, that they still could lose the game.
Dear, oh dear. I'd hate not to think you'd have to do that, really, Gary, but you'd certainly, I think the point you're making is that there was plenty that they still needed to do. You've got a lot to lose as well as a lot to gain at 28-0 at a half-time.
Oh, Phillips slices them open. Albert Torrens back on the inside. Hodgson has it, loses it. Menzies, I think it's a fair try. Steve Menzies scores again for the Manly side, and now they wrap it up. Surely they have. Manly make it try number 8 for the game. 43-24.
Well, referee Manders backed himself in here on what he saw. The Campbelltown crowd don't like it because that's definitely the end of any little sniff of victory. There's that boy Phillips again. Coach Bob Fulton switched him from fullback or wing or wherever he was selected today. into that position at 5'8", and he's had an outstanding game. He's been the linchpin of so much of their attack, and that's a fair try. That's a fair try. He's called it right, Tim Mander. Another dreadful miss. Travis Baker hasn't got his tongue out now. He missed a shocker there.
Papawade was just there on the inside. Hodgson got the hand to it. It came off him. Menzies, no knock on. Fair try. Try number 8. 12 tries for the game. And Steve Menzies, 8 tries for the year. He's had a very, very busy last 6 weeks. There's Menzies with the Origin Series, showing a pair of fresh legs there. And Phillips, who has been outstanding at 5'8" for Manly today. Strange looking scoreline. And 45 points to 24 it is now. And the fight back, Gary, has ended for the Magpies.
Yeah, certainly. They won't come back from here, but it was well read by Cliff Lyons that the winger, Darryl Fisher, in fact, had dropped back for Wests. So they put it through the hands. Some nice play there from Phillips, setting it up out wide for the winger, Torrens. He should have just passed his ball back inside to Papawade, who was over for sure. But I guess you'd expect with such a big scoreline, Steve Menzies always has to come up with a 4-pointer for Manly.
Papawade, eyes on that left ankle. He's gone from the wing to the centres. Season 1998 for Manly. Come away again from their line. Adam Peters, playing for Paris. Euro League, Sidaris, against his former club, or one of his former clubs. Be happy to walk away from Campbelltown with a victory. Albert Torrens set up that final try. Just a little bit high, that one. Coxon it was. Coella. Fritz came over the top. Damien Kennedy went low. Lyons, Phillips. Kick in. Back for Ken McGuinness. Chase was pretty good by Manly. Siri Lang lines up for a charge. Gets around the tackle of Gartner. Sidaris hung on as Fritz takes a break. Georgianis. Solid tackle, that one, from Nick Kosef. Ball and all. Away goes Mesha. This is Radonicus. Hodgson uses his speed, has Kennedy back on the inside, and Kennedy will go over. The halves, they combine for the Magpies. Too little, too late though. That scoreline, 45 now to 28.
It's a digital scoreboard, so we'll have enough numbers to be able to
cope with it.
Yeah, to handle the whole thing. 5 minutes to go. Look at that. That's hot. Brad Hodgson, he's really got some pace. He's done some terrific things in the attacking aspects of halfback play since he's been switched into this position. And it's no less than Nick Kosef that he beats here. Shows the ball. That's his style. He likes to get outside his opponent because it gives him the chance to show that pace. Damien Kennedy backing up through the middle does the extras. Nice try.
It's a nice try. The two halves have been thrown together only for 3 games in the halves position. Of course, Kennedy a back rower. Hodgson, as we mentioned, a fullback and winger playing in the halfback position. Terry Hill still doing plenty of chat there, along with Coella. And Hodgson converts. 45 points to 30, Gary.
Well, who would have thought they'd overtake that 28-0 half-time score?
Nobody.
Some better defence in the second half, and West could have been in the lead. He did very well, Hodgson. Draws the fullback as well, who had no choice but to come to him. Of course, Kennedy on the inside, but it's all a little bit too late for the Maggies.
It certainly is.
It's not often that you score 6 tries and lose by 21 points.
Is that right? If you would have given Tom Radonicus the option of scoring 6 tries, the scoreboard at the moment is 30, yeah. 45 points to 30, the scoreboard.
The scoreboard attendant has more problems with his maths than I do, I think, Terry.
McGuinness, Kenny McGuinness. There could be more tries. Rodonicus, alive, Georgialis. Oh, great play, the Magpies. They are coming home. McGuinness again takes off. Kenny McGuinness just trying to touch too much. Can't be too harsh on him there. Some warning signs there. This is Sadara slowly to his feet. Back to the scoreboard. Trouble, a fire actually swept through there some 3 weeks ago. An electrical fire, which I think has been playing havoc.
I'll tell you what, the bloke who's working it today's on fire at the moment. 45 to 30. He'll put in an overtime sheet.
He tries to 5. Spigner's about to drop off. This is Peters. Adam Peters plays it back. Field, back on the park. Juvie takes a break. As always, put in a wholehearted effort. Lions to the defensive line. Puts in the kick. Now there's a good chase. They are coming quickly on Fisher. And Fisher. The ball goes out into touch. We're inside the final 2 minutes. Was it Menzies or Fisher who took it over? We're about to find out. So this is Fisher. It's been kept in. Oh.
Now that is a tough call.
Photo finish.
He's given the feed to West, and I think it's right because the ball came off the Manly player's foot and then involuntarily it's come off the West player's arm and gone into touch. So ultimately they've arrived at the right decision there. That's good, really good stuff.
15-point ball game. If you like your tries, you've seen plenty of them today, 13. This is Coxon. Over Castrian. Mesha. Picks up Harvey Howard. Slammed to the ground.
Has Brenton Pomeroy seen the light of day in the second half?
Came on briefly, I think. Pomeroy. Only for a fleeting moment. Short ball there. Coxon. Can't get rid of it. Wrapped up well. Escher. Hodgson. Little kick. Better play. McGuinness storming through. A pass now. Oh, Fisher. The good bounce. Fisher can't get around his man. Plays it back rugby union style.
Kenny McGuinness went the wrong way. What a great play again. Brett Hodgson showing some great skills as a halfback. Beautifully weighted chip kick. Well thought out. Kenny McGuinness on the fly. I thought he had some support on his left. I mean, it wasn't going to matter about in the course of the game.
No. And Lincoln Rodonicus. A little bit of a scuffle here with Craig Field. And referee Tim Mander again will call out Lincoln Rodonicus.
Okay? It's penalty.
Self-explanatory, this one. Seemed to be too much in that. Rodonicus giving away the penalty. A full-time siren has sounded in the background. And it's Peters who will take this final tackle. Magpies, they come in numbers. The game is all over. Well, plenty of twists, plenty of dips, plenty of curves. It's 80 minutes of football here at Campbelltown. Hard to explain, 45 points to 30.